رمضان تجلى وابتسما طوبى للعبد إذا اغتنما رمضان تجلى وابتسما.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The importance of Laylatul Qadr is well known from the verses and the hadith we get from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. In order to benefit the most from these nights, a person has to expand the capacity to take the blessings and mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows according to the capacities. We know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings are unlimited, but our capacity should be there in order to grasp and take those blessings and mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I would just like to give an example here. Imagine if you have a small container and if someone asks us to go and collect the water, the rainwater, how much rainwater can we collect in that small container? Imagine if the container can get 10 liters of water. After it is filled with 10 liters of water, what would happen? Since that capacity is not there in the container, it would not consume and take more rainwater. Whereas if you see the rainwater, the rain would be coming and there would be millions of liters which would be coming down from the rain. But since the capacity of that container is not big enough, therefore, it would not be able to take more than 10 liters. Let us expand our inner capacity in order to grasp and take the most out of this Laylatul Qadr. We have 3 nights which are mentioned to be that there is a possibility of Laylatul Qadr, which is 19th of Shahr Ramadan, 21st of Shahr Ramadan, and 23rd of Shahr Ramadan, which had been emphasized more in ahadith. We'll count some of the virtues of Laylatul Qadr. The first being the forgiveness of our sins. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, while doing the tafsir of Surah Al-Qadr, he says, a person who is a mu'min and has faith on the day of retribution, the day of resurrection, and stays awake the whole night, the night of Laylatul Qadr, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive his sins. The second is Laylatul Qadr is the heart of Shahr Ramadan. The gist, what we get from Imam Sadiq alayhi salam is where he mentions that there are 12 months in the year, and out of which Shahr Ramadan is a great month, and in Shahr Ramadan, the heart of Shahr Ramadan is Laylatul Qadr. The third virtue of Laylatul Qadr is that this night is better than 1,000 months. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. Allah is not saying that this night is equivalent to 1,000 months. No, rather Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that this is better than the 1,000 months. If we calculate 1,000 months, it is above 83 years. That is almost the age of a person nowadays. If this night is better than 83 years, and let's take the night to be around 10 hours, so that means each hour is equal to around 8 years. Now you can imagine that each minute would be equivalent to how many months of ibadat? Therefore, if a mu'min benefits in a nice way, in a great way from these holy nights, he can elevate 83 years in one night. The fourth virtue of Laylatul Qadr is that it is the night when the Quran was revealed. Inshallah, I'll be mentioning the 2 types of revelation. One type of revelation is the sudden revelation which came on Rasulullah, which is mentioned to be Laylatul Qadr. The fifth virtue of Laylatul Qadr is the descent of the angels. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Qadr says, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ. With the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the malaika would come down, they would descend. Since the word says tanazzalul malaika, it does not say that the angels came down, the angels and the spirit came down. No, rather it says in the present tense. So it shows that every year they would come down. Now the question, where do they come down? Once the Prophet was sitting and Prophet asked the companions, he asked that where do the angels come and descend? The companions said that it is you, Ya Rasulullah. And then he said, okay, when I pass away, after me, who will it come and descend on? The companions said, we don't know about it. That was the time when Rasulullah pointed and said, Imam Ali alayhi salam was sitting there, he said, Imam Ali is there, that he is the one on whom the angels and malaika would be coming down after my demise. Therefore, we understand that the malaika would descend and come down on the Imam. Imam Baqir alayhi salam, we get from him that he says that when you're speaking with the enemies and your opponents, speak about this surah. Why? Because there is the words, تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا. Now from there we understand that the angels are not like something else that they can just come down. They're not the bodies that they would descend at any place. Like the airplanes or aircrafts, they would come down at the airports. But what about the malaika? Malaika, since they don't have the body, so when they are coming down and descending, they would be coming down on the soul, on the ruh of the Imam. Laylatul Qadr is the night of destiny, where the destinies are being written for the next entire year. So we should be trying to utilize in the best way possible that all our next year, the entire year which would be coming, would be great of blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the strong connection of our Imam. Laylatul Qadr is the night to strengthen our resistance against the sins. Yes, this is one of the main things that we have to stay away from sins. Otherwise, if a person does good things, he performs good actions and perform the good deeds, but after Laylatul Qadr, if we are on the same page how we were, and we become a bad person, then that means that we are not getting the most benefit from Laylatul Qadr. Now, how can we stay away from sins? I remember here a beautiful hadith, either it is from Imam Hussein alayhi salam or Imam Sajjad, where it says that a person comes, Ja'a rajulun as, that there was a person, he comes to Imam and he says, Ana rajulun as, that I'm a sinful person. And he says, Wala asbiru anil ma'asiyah. He says, Imam, I cannot control, I don't have the sabr, I cannot control from the sins. I just indulge I commit the sins. فَعِذْنِي بِمَوْعِذَةٍ. Imam, give me admonition, give me some advice. Imam says, إِفْعَلْ خَمْسَةَ أَشْيَاء وَأَذْنِبْ مَا شَئْتَ. That do 5 things and then you can sin as much as you want. Now, what are these 5 things? The first thing Imam says is, لا تأكل رزق الله وأذنب ما شئت. Imam said, do not eat from the rizq, from the sustenance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then do guna, commit sin as much as you want. Brothers and sisters, is that possible? That we do not eat from Allah's sustenance? Whatever we have is being given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing Imam says, أخرج من ولاية الله وأذنب ما شئت. That get out of the wilayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and then sin as much as you want. Brothers and sisters, we have only 2 wilayat. One is the wilayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the other one is the wilayat of shaitan. If we get out of the wilayat of Allah, no other wilayat would remain other than the wilayat of shaitan. Is that possible that we can get out of wilayat of Allah and then sin? The third thing Imam says, "Utlub mawdi'a la yarak Allah wa adhnim ma shi'ta." That go and seek some place where Allah does not look at you, where Allah does not watch you, and then commit sin as much as you want. Do we really have or find a place in this universe or in these galaxies where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cannot watch us? The fourth thing Imam says, إِذَا جَاءَ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ لِيَقْبِضَ رُوحَكَ فَادْفَاهُ عَنْ نَفْسِكَ وَأَذْنِبْ مَا شِئْتَ. Imam says, when the Malakul Maut comes to take your soul and your ruh away, strive him let him go away from you. Can we do that? No, we cannot do that. The last and the fifth thing Imam says, إِذَا أَدْخَلَكَ مَالِكٌ فِي النَّارِ فَلَا تَدْخُلْ فِي النَّارِ وَأَدْنِ مَا شَئْتَ. Imam says, when it is the time when your Lord, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking you to put into the hellfire, do not go to the hellfire and then sin as much as you want. Brothers and sisters, now looking at these 5 conditions, what Imam has said, do we really find a way to commit sin? Therefore, we should think about it, that this Shahru Ramadan, these Laylatul Qadr should be the nights, and all the sacred nights and the days of Shahru Ramadan should be the days and nights which take us away from committing sin, and we can get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here I remember Ayatollah Bahjat says, we have sinned with all our being, yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala neither took away His blessings from us nor exposed our sins. Imagine what He would do if we truly worshipped Him. So brothers and sisters, these are the days and the nights where we can prepare ourselves, where we can fight the nafs al-ammara, where we can fight against that nafs which makes us get closer to the sins. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we understand the Laylatul Qadr in the best way, the importance, the virtues of the Laylatul Qadr, and make the most benefit of these great nights. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.